What's up guys, Coach Seth here, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys 5 mistakes that young athletes tend to make. And we're going to jump right into it, starting with number 1, and that is having no goal. Having a goal is super important, guys. It could be a goal with your workout, it could be a goal with your sport, but make sure it's super specific as well. Don't just be like, well, I want to get better at basketball, or I want to get better at football. Try to get a little bit deeper and a little bit more specific with that. It might be, I want to increase my free throw percentage by like 10. Or maybe it's, I want to do a suicide in under 30 seconds. Or maybe you want to dunk a basketball one day. Whatever it is, make sure you have a goal. That way you're going somewhere and you're not just winging it. Next up is depending on quantity over quality. What do I mean by that? Basically, that just means focusing on how many times you're training or doing workouts rather than what exactly you're doing and how effective the workouts are. A lot of people just want to make sure and work out every single day. I'm gonna get my strength training in, I'm gonna get my basketball shooting in, and I'll be good to go. But a lot of times what they do whenever they're in the weight room, they kind of just lift a couple weights, don't really have a plan, just winging it. And same thing with basketball gameplay. A lot of times they go in and get a couple shots up and then just start shooting half-court shots and hook shots and just start screwing around and everything. And that is what I mean about quality of workouts. It's much better to train 2 or 3 times a week with really high quality workouts rather than train every single day and just not really having any type of structure in your workouts. It doesn't matter if you train every single day. If the quality of your workouts are not high, then you're not going to be doing much in the end. So just remember, it's quality over quantity. Next up at number 3, it is going to be focusing on your strengths. So don't let me confuse you on this one. If you are a absolute complete beginner and want to be better at basketball or whatever it is, I'm a believer in finding 1 or maybe 2 things, not any more than that. If you are trying to make the team, you need to master 1 thing first, because in the end, that's what's going to make you stand out. But my point of this one is, oftentimes people focus too much on what they are good at. Most of the time, good shooters just want to work on shooting, whenever they could be working on other things just a little bit more to add another element to their game. Now, I'm not saying if you're good at something to never work that. I'm not saying that at all. But don't let your other attributes suffer by working on your strengths way more than anything else. So once you get good at something, make sure you start to work on other things to try to develop as much of your game as you can. Okay, and number 4 is going to be pushing through pain. And hear me out for a second. You have to know that there is a big difference between muscle burn pain and joint pain. If it is muscle burn pain, then yes, you want to push that to your limits. You want to go past what you're able to do, because at the end, that's what's going to make you better. But if it is joint pain, if it is sharp shooting pain in the knee joint, the ankle joint, whatever it is, you do not want to push through that. Even if it is the ankle, because if the ankle is broke, then pushing through that pain can make it worse and possibly set you out for even longer than what you would have if you would have just stopped right then. So you have to know the difference between joint pain and muscle burn pain. All right, and the last one at number 5 is going to be not enough rest. So athletes are training all the time, right? Because we should be, because athletes do have to train all the time because of what our bodies have to take on. But there's so many things that can go wrong if you don't give your body the proper rest. So there's this book that I listened to recently that talks a lot about rest and how rest is so beneficial to athletes. The book is called Peak Performance, and one thing that stood out to me that probably nobody realizes is it talks a lot about burnout. So you guys have to realize that burnout is a real thing, because whenever you burn out on something, you don't want anything to do with it. It's not just, oh, I'm gonna take a week off and then I'll be back at it. No, you don't want anything to do with it for a long time, if not ever. So make sure you realize how important rest is with burnout. Another thing that book talks about is sleep. So I think as long as you're getting at least 7 hours of sleep every night, that should be okay. But just know that some people need even more sleep than that. So just keep that in mind. Don't get me wrong, I love the hard workers. but you have to be smart with your training. So I hope that was helpful, guys. Let me know in the comments below what your biggest mistake is. If you are wanting to become a better athlete and increase your overall performance, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any valuable information. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.